Good morning, family. Let me tell you something. Every morning you wake up, you got two choices. You can rise with purpose, or you can roll over and waste the day God just gifted you. Morning mindset sets the day. How you start your day determines how the day unfolds mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. You know, one of the most overlooked but powerful things you can say to yourself in the morning is this: I am grateful to be alive. Now, that might sound simple, basic even, but don't get it twisted. This one right here is foundational. Because let me tell you something. When you open your eyes in the morning, that's not just biology doing its thing. That's opportunity showing up in disguise. That's purpose knocking, whether you feel it or not. Gratitude is not just about saying thank you for the good things. It's a discipline, a daily habit of recognizing the gift in just having breath in your body and time on your side. People wake up every day chasing happiness, chasing money, chasing success, but if you can't stop for a second and appreciate the fact that you woke up, you've already missed the first blessing of the day. Psychologists talk about how gratitude rewires the brain. It shifts your focus from what you lack to what you have. And philosophically, it grounds you. It reminds you that you're not entitled to another day, you're entrusted with it. That shift in perspective, that's powerful. That's where confidence is born, not from external praise, but from internal clarity. Let's be real, some mornings life don't feel good. You might be waking up to bills, problems, pain. But gratitude doesn't ignore those things. It rises above them. It says, yes, life is hard right now, but I'm still here, and as long as I'm here, I got a shot to make it better. You want to change your life, start changing your lens. Before you check your phone, before you scroll through someone else's highlight reel, check in with yourself. Speak life. Say, thank you for this breath, this chance, this day. That little moment of gratitude can silence a whole storm of negativity before it even starts. Because here's the truth, when you're grateful, you become dangerous, dangerous to fear, dangerous to doubt, dangerous to every voice that told you you wouldn't make it. So tomorrow morning, when your eyes open and that alarm hits, don't just get up. Rise with gratitude. That's how you change your day and eventually your whole life. Words have power. Speaking life over yourself can reshape your thoughts, focus, and energy. Now let's talk about something that's not just powerful, it's necessary. Every morning you need to tell yourself, I have purpose. Not maybe, not someday, not if things work out, no. Right now, where you are, as you are, you have purpose. See, a lot of people walking around today aren't tired because they lack sleep. They're tired because they lack direction. They're drained because they don't feel like what they're doing matters. That's what happens when you don't wake up with purpose. You drift. You live reactive instead of proactive. And life ain't designed to be lived on autopilot. Let me break it down. Purpose isn't just about your job title or your bank account. Purpose is about meaning. It's about recognizing that there's a reason you're still breathing, a reason you woke up this morning instead of someone else. And when you own that, it changes how you move. Purpose gives pain a context. It gives effort a reason. It gives obstacles a mission. Psychologists say that when people have a sense of purpose, they recover faster from illness, bounce back quicker from setbacks, and live longer. That ain't just a nice quote, that's science. And you don't need a stage, a spotlight, or 1,000,000 followers to have purpose. You can have purpose in the way you show up for your family, in the way you lead at your job, in the way you treat a stranger. Every interaction is a seed. Now here's the trick. The world will try to convince you you're replaceable, that your role don't matter, that you're just a number. But purpose says, I'm here for a reason, and no one can do what I do exactly how I do it. That's not ego. That's alignment. That's understanding your value without needing validation. So tomorrow morning, don't just jump into your routine. Pause, look yourself in the mirror, and say it with your chest. I have purpose. I matter. I'm here for something bigger than survival. Because when you walk in purpose, you stop chasing success, and you start attracting it. Remember this. A life lived without purpose isn't just empty. It's wasted. But a life with purpose, that's where greatness begins. Self-talk shapes destiny. The things you tell yourself become the script you live by, positive or negative. Let's get real about something that messes up more people than failure ever could. Comparison. Every morning you need to remind yourself, I will not compare my life to someone else's highlight reel. That one decision, it can save your peace, protect your focus, and preserve your self-worth. Now I need you to understand this deeply. Comparison is the thief of joy, but more than that, it's the killer of progress. The moment you start measuring your journey against someone else's, you're already losing. Why? Because you're using the wrong ruler. You're looking at where they are and ignoring where they started. You don't know what they had to go through to get that car, that house, that platform, that smile. And if you did, you might not even want what they have. See, social media has made it real easy to get caught in the trap. You're scrolling through filters, edits, highlights, and then judging yourself off that. That's like walking into someone's movie at the climax and comparing it to your behind the scenes footage. It ain't fair and it ain't wise. Philosophically, comparison creates a false narrative. It rewrites your story through someone else's lens. Psychologically, it trains your brain to see lack instead of abundance. You stop seeing what you do have. You forget how far you've come. And worst of all, you stop watering your own grass 'cause you're too busy staring at your neighbor's yard. But here's what purpose-minded people know. The only person you should be comparing yourself to is who you were yesterday. That's it. If you're a little wiser, a little stronger, a little more disciplined today than you were yesterday, you're winning. And if not, that's okay too, because self-awareness is progress, and progress is still the path. You gotta learn how to clap for others without questioning your own value. Because someone else's blessing is not your burden, their win is not your loss. Life ain't a race, it's a walk, yours alone. And your lane was built just for you. So tomorrow morning, when the noise gets loud and the pressure creeps in, say it out loud. I don't need to compare. My story is enough. And don't just say it, believe it, because when you stop comparing, you finally start becoming. Discipline motivation. Morning declarations build a habit of discipline even when motivation fades. Let me hit you with something that might sting a little, but it needs to be said. Every morning you've got to tell yourself, my dreams are valid and I will work toward them today. Now notice I didn't say wish toward them. I said work, because a dream without action is just a pretty lie you tell yourself to feel better about standing still. Excited about many vision, BOPEO, a PRLDE, don't S, and realize that the RAU motivation will QUOTE code S. And hey, that's cool. I'm all for dreaming big, but dreaming without doing, that's where most people get stuck. They confuse having a dream with having discipline. They think because they want it bad enough, it should just fall into their lap. But that ain't how life works. Psychologically, we are wired to crave dopamine, the rush of thinking about success. But purpose doesn't live in the thinking. It lives in the doing. You don't become great because you dreamed it. You become great because you were willing to sweat for it when nobody was watching. And don't get it twisted, just because your dream hasn't shown up yet doesn't mean it's invalid. Sometimes the dream is bigger than the moment you're in. That don't mean it's impossible. It just means you've got to grow into it, keep showing up, keep stacking those small wins. That little step you take today might be invisible to the world, but it's foundational to your future. And let's address the doubt, because it creeps in, especially in the quiet. Maybe you didn't come from much. Maybe nobody in your family ever did what you're trying to do. Maybe you failed before, so what? That doesn't disqualify you, it qualifies you. Because people who have been through something appreciate the grind on a deeper level. The truth is, your dream is not up for debate. You don't need everyone to believe in it. You just need you to stay committed to it, especially on the days when it feels out of reach. So when you wake up tomorrow, look yourself in the mirror and say it. My dreams are valid, and today I'm gonna prove it, one action at a time. Because belief is the spark, but work is the fire. God plus grind equals greatness. Faith combined with hard work becomes an unbeatable formula for success. Let's be honest, fear is loud. And it shows up early. Before your feet hit the floor, it's already whispering, you're not ready. What if you fail? What if they laugh? What if it doesn't work? That's why every morning before the world gets a say, you've got to declare, I will not let fear make decisions for me. Now hear me, fear is natural. It's built into our biology. It's how we survived danger back in the day. But here's the problem. Most of us aren't running from lions anymore. We're running from growth. Fear used to protect us. Now it paralyzes us. And if you don't check it, fear will have you living a small, safe, silent life when you were called to something greater. See, psychologically, fear thrives in uncertainty. It feeds on the unknown, but philosophically, fear isn't the enemy. Surrendering to fear is, because courage doesn't mean you don't feel afraid, it means you don't obey it. I've seen people with talent, with ideas, with vision, sit on their gift for years, not because they didn't believe it was real, but because fear convinced them it wasn't enough. Fear told them to wait. Wait for permission, wait for confidence, wait for the perfect moment. But let me tell you something. Perfect never comes. Confidence is built in motion. Permission is overrated. Your life is shaped by what you choose to do in spite of fear, not in the absence of it. The people you admire, they were scared too. The only difference is they moved anyway. So tomorrow morning, when that voice creeps in, trying to negotiate your dreams down to a more realistic size, shut it down, say it loud and say it clear. I hear you, fear, but you don't get to drive today. Because if fear makes your decisions, it will also define your destiny. And trust me, you weren't born to live a fear-shaped life. You were born to walk in boldness, so the next step you're afraid to take. That's probably the one that matters most. Take it anyway. Success is intentional. You can't leave your mindset to chance. You have to build it on purpose every morning.